Experience the difference with WCNC Charlotte weather.
Just a few minutes.
Time now to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. Fewer people are having kids, but new data is providing a puzzling look at the ideal size of an American family.
About a third of Americans said 2 to 3 kids makes for the ideal family. But birth rates say otherwise. Let's connect the dots. Fewer women are having children. Currently, rates are below what's called the replacement rate. That ensures the population size is stable over time. In 2022, surveys show people want close to 3 kids on average. However, the actual rate of childbirth is 1.6 children per woman. Millennials and Gen Z are having fewer children than older generations, with nearly 10% saying they don't want kids. Others said finances, political affairs, and saving for a house are reasons to wait. And even though the numbers are a bit puzzling, researchers found people who want 0 children are extremely rare. And that is connecting the dots.
When did you know what you wanted to be?
Hey Mom, the weather's on!
WCNC Charlotte's chief meteorologist, Brad Panovich, always knew what he was meant to do.
All right, don't forget your umbrella.
In fact, he joined the American Meteorological Society when he was 13. Now Brad is all grown up. You can see him right here on WCNC Charlotte, making sure you're informed and safe.
Hey, where did all my hair go?
Experience the difference.
We're up with the forecast because it's going to be gorgeous. I've been talking about Friday as my pick of the week all week long, and that's because it's going to be that amazing. Look at this. We see a few of those clouds off in the distance in Lylesville. Boone, you're looking pretty. Kannapolis, great. Look at how green that grass is. I wish my lawn looked like that. Not the case. And then our Kannapolis camera, since I like the grass so much, we are looking at temperatures in the lower 80s for the afternoon. Right now, 78 feels like 80 degrees, so just a little bit of stickiness in the air. I also think we're going to have more clouds as we work our way through the day. Check it out. Clouds starting to fill in. That's still going to make it partly sunny to mostly cloudy as we work our way through the day. At times, it might even appear overcast, but we are going to see some sunshine trying to fight on through, especially the further west you go. That's where we're seeing some of this green. If you have any rain, it's going to be very light, a trace to maybe 1/100th of an inch, but all in all, we should be staying dry. I think pretty much over 90% of us are going to be on the drier end of the forecast. Overnight tonight, we're getting cooler, dropping down to about 60 degrees. Winds are flowing out of the northeast. That is a cooler direction. And what is happening right now is actually because of a cold front that moved through, and that cold front is going to affect what Lee is doing, but it's also going to dry us out. So tomorrow is my pick of the week. As I mentioned it, I've been ad nauseum been pitching this day because this is going to be super comfortable. 80 degrees, sunshine most of the day. Look at this forecast. Can't go wrong. Upper 70s. You're not calling it humid. Muggy, I forgot what that word means tomorrow. Because anytime you have this range, dew point about 51 to 55, that's nice. So this is going to be a great day because after this point, it starts to come back up. So it will start to feel a lot more humid by Sunday. Saturday's still a decent day. Like Friday and Saturday is a 1-2 shot. If you like it a little bit warmer and you don't want it around 79, 80, well, Saturday's your day because highs are going to be around 84, 85. That should be the warmest day of the week. Our lows, though, are heading down to a point that we haven't been in a while. 57 degrees. The last time that we were in the 50s in Charlotte was June 14th. I did the quick calculation on that. That was 93 days ago, so by the time that this temperature hits, that would be officially 95 days since we were in the 50s. Here's your weekend forecast, combing out the details. Saturday is your pick of the weekend. It's the best one, just a couple of clouds at most, but we should be holding on to those Carolina blues most of the day. 72 by 9 p.m. We are starting off cool on Sunday morning, but it is going to be a quick warm-up, getting to the mid-70s by noon. By the middle of the afternoon, check it out, a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. So our best chance for rain, it's isolated today. Saturday night, there could be an isolated shower. So most of your Saturday is dry. I think we will see more clouds by the end of the day. Sunday, scattered, and then Sunday night will be isolated. So really that means it's just hit or miss rain showers mainly through your Sunday. So that's why Saturday is looking so good. But again, few more clouds to end the day. Rip current outlook, we were talking about this. It's at a high right now for each shoreline, North and South Carolina. That's because Lee is cruising on by. It's a Category 1 now and will soon drop down to tropical storm status as it's cruising past New England. This path has shifted a little bit further off towards the east. It looks to make landfall in Nova Scotia by Saturday afternoon heading into the evening as a subtropical storm. Check out some of these gusts up to 70 to even 80 miles per hour up in Canada, and then I would say anywhere from 60 to 65 for the eastern side of New England. For us, we're not talking about anything close to that. Have that chance for showers and storms as the front moves through on Sunday. Panthers game looks to be fantastic. High of 82 will be in the 70s for that game at 7:15 start time. And then holding true either side of 80 degrees through all of next week. Welcome to more of the fall-like temperatures for at least Carolina's edition.
We'd love to see it. All right, Chris, thanks.
WCNC Charlotte. This is Flashpoint, where power and politics collide and the tough questions get asked and answered.
Thanks for joining us here on Flashpoint. I'm Ben Thompson. Well, it is no secret North Carolina is booming and has been for quite some time. The strong workforce helping grow the economy by more than 3% in the last year. But there is a disparity specifically at the extremes, including the center of our metropolis, Uptown, and then also the rural communities of Alexander County. In a moment, how the small county is continuing to struggle following the pandemic. But first, a new competition in Center City hoping to attract new ideas to the heart of Charlotte. Joining us now is James Dumore. He is the Senior Vice President of Economic Development at Charlotte Center City Partners. James, welcome back to Flashpoint. Thanks for coming on.
Morning.
All right, so first things first, give us some context. How much office space is empty right now in Uptown as compared to, say, like 5 years ago?
Sure. So due to the pandemic, as we're coming out of that, many downtowns across the United States are seeing higher than normal vacancy rates. And that's the reason why is that we had a change in rhythm of work. When the pandemic initially happened, you couldn't even go into work. And over the course of the last 3 years, remote work has caught on. Then a big section between office-centric and remote is hybrid work. And so Uptown is doing much better than it was 3 years ago. And it's also doing much better across our peer set. So right now our vacancy rate is hovering around 17 to 21%. If you look at other downtowns across the country, they have much higher percentage of vacancies. And one of the reasons for that is when we went into the pandemic, Charlotte had a lot of economic development momentum, and that momentum, even though it slowed down during the pandemic, is starting to pick back up, and we've had a solid, resilient theme through the pandemic. So Uptown is in a good place, but we also have some really amazing opportunities of asking that question: what do we do with the amount of vintage office in Uptown? What sort of activities and destinations do we want in Uptown to make it stronger?
And you're coming up with some creative solutions. Real quickly, though, you say 17%, something like that. So folks at home, I'm sure, have no sort of standard to put that up against. What was it like, say, 10 years ago?
Yeah, so prior to the pandemic, we actually had the opposite challenge, where vacancy rate was so low, 4, 5, 6%, where if a new tenant from outside the region or a tenant wanted to expand, there was no room. And then for a long time, we sat in a really nice sweet spot around 13%, where there was a lot of activity, but also some movement to attract new employers, or for employers to expand. Let's say they're on one floor and they want to expand to another above or below in that same building. We had that piece. And now we're creeping up onto the side of a little bit too much vacancy. So for downtowns begging to ask that question, what else can that space be used for?
So let's get to that, because Charlotte Center City Partners is holding what they're calling a Reimagining Vintage Office Design Competition. You've laid out sort of the problem that this is hoping to address, but this is sort of a creative way to approach this. Explain to us why you kind of have to have a competition or something like this, because as much as people think, oh, we'll just put condos in there or just do something, it's not that simple.
Correct. So for the last 6-7 months, we've been examining other downtowns across the country: New York, Chicago, Seattle, Nashville, Austin, Boston, and we've seen a variety of solutions. Some cities bring in a consultant, they do a big environmental scan of all the buildings, and they find which one should be converted or could be converted. We've seen some other ones with tax abatements and incentives. So Charlotte's different. So again, again, our vacancy rate is higher than we normally have, but it's lower compared to many other downtowns across the country. So we still have economic development momentum, but we know that we have some buildings that are going to have a hard look going forward about tenants wanting to go in. So we cobbled together different solutions from different downtowns and came up with the design competition to elicit ideas from building owners, design and architectural firms, construction firms, and then for an added bonus, what sort of business partner can you bring into the way that you're rethinking that building? Think of a nonprofit. So a lot of people think of affordable housing. Can some of the office space be converted to residential? That is generally a very expensive endeavor. So we're looking for these creative teams to come together to somehow mitigate those costs. We also have a vibrant arts and culture environment here in Charlotte, 12 museums and venues to go to in Uptown. We could probably use more. So how can those teams work together with a museum for a new exhibit space or maybe some office space in order to attract strong talent into that sector? How about changing one of those office buildings into a new hotel or new hospitality piece? Or maybe 3 of the floors go towards residential, 6 of the floors go towards office, and the other place becomes a public gathering place, a co-working space, or a place to exhibit ideas or have collective conversations. So as you can see, the idea of like what the office can be reimagined into really calls for eliciting a large group of ideas, and we thought the design competition was the best way to do that.
Is it your intention that some of these will actually come to actual fruition? That this is not just a fun, creative way to talk about some things and get inspired, but that some of these plans might actually be seen a few years down the road?
Absolutely. So one of the criteria that each of the submittals will be evaluated on is their ability to, one, advance, and it's actually a viable solution. So we're looking for 4 big pieces on the submittal, and I think this really demonstrates like that this needs to be a real idea. One, we're looking for floor plates. What does the building look like now? And then what's that repositioned or repurposed use? So we're looking for ideas that it could stay office, but hey, how's that office going to be in the modern environment that tenants and employers are looking for? Second, renderings, looking for this imagery about what does the streetscape look like now that the building has this new use to it and how it's interacting with maybe possibly other buildings. Last piece, or 2 last pieces, we're looking for that economic model. All right, what is the cost for converting this office into this or upfitting that office into that? And then the last piece, what are the policy recommendations? So think of zoning, code.
I am Dorothy, DOROTHY BROWER.
T. Hines, TEAHINES.
What was your takeaway from what you saw in court today?
I was very well impressed with the process, with the testimonies, particularly with the investigation. And I do believe that we have witnessed some very good work that has been done since Alicia was reported missing. What was very sad is the manner in which I could picture her body when it was found. And that is something that, even though we didn't see the pictures, I didn't have to see the pictures, just listening to how she was found and where she was found was just heavy. No one, not even an animal, should be tossed out like that.
We're here for justice. We're still on this justice roll. Alicia's birthday is coming up. We're trying to get a celebration in place for her. We're planting a tree on her birthday in Moore County if anybody wants to come out. But we're here for justice. We need justice, and they're doing a great job in making sure that justice is what we get.
You guys have been coming, and you've been, like your shirt says, boots on the ground since this all horrifically started.
I try not to focus on him because I really think that my time is precious. I try not to even look in his direction because he is stone and there's no reaction. So I really don't want to focus on him. And right now, he's just not there.
Were you surprised with any of the details that came out today?
Not really. They were good details. Not really. They were good. Yeah.
I was not surprised either. I was just grateful that good work had been done.
And it's being done.
Yeah, from Charlotte to
Montgomery,
Moore County,
Anson County.
yeah.
They're all working as a team to gather all the information and evidence to make sure that we get the outcome that we're looking for.
Right now, as we say, it's justice for Alicia, and going forward, it's justice for Alicia and any other victim.
And Allisha Watts' legacy.
Yeah.
And any woman in domestic violence to come out and
Yeah.
speak.
And as T has said, we have a celebration coming up. Alicia's birthday is this month, and our community is rallying around celebrating her legacy, all of what she meant to us and still means to us, because she left us with a lot of precious memories and good work. And she deserves all of what we can give, and so do other victims. So this is not stopping. We
We're
have
Moore County strong.
and we have a state that we've got to cover.
Allisha Watts' legacy.
Yeah.
Have to keep it going.
I am Allisha Watts.
I am Allisha Watts.
I am Alicia Watts. I'm Alicia Watts.
We are Allisha Watts.
These are our precious ones from, y'all know these are our precious ones from
The
Anson
pastors.
County. Alicia has brought so many people together who didn't know each other before, in person, through media, and just everything. So
We're good.
we'll be
You guys
back
are
in
good?
October.
Yeah.
What did they tell you October what we had to leave?
23rd.
October 23rd for the next court date?
Yes.
Okay.
Got you, boo.
Good? October 23rd, yes.